to remind you, this was the abduction and radio drop campaign and the handgun debate.
Hello and welcome to Crimewatch. 12 people rang in, giving the same those fantastic results.
Good morning and thanks so much for joining us today. Now this year marks our 40th year on the BBC, and in that time we've covered more than 7,000 appeals and wanted faces, and thanks to your calls we've helped put many criminals behind bars. We're going to be having a look back at the legacy of Crimewatch over the last 4 decades a little later in the programme. Well, we really have covered just about every sort of crime on Crimewatch. Here's a look back at how it all began.
It's a programme embedded in Britain's consciousness.
Tonight, once again, we're asking for your help.
Appealing for information on the high-profile crimes that have shocked the nation.
The vital clue which you can help with are these overalls.
Susie Lamplugh, James Bulger,
Stephen Lawrence,
Millie Dowler.
And integral in helping to put hundreds of criminals behind bars.
Number 2 here is a nasty piece of work.
Giving justice to victims and their families.
We've had a phenomenal response.
Welcome to Crimewatch Live.
It all started in 1984.
10, 9, 8.
The object was pure public service broadcasting. I mean, it really was. Let's see if we can do something to help cut crime. This is about real-life crime, not the stuff of fiction.
The first show was presented by Nick Ross and Sue Cook.
We walked down to the studio and all the set was in kit form on the floor. Strips of wood, nails, hammers, mallets.
With 15 minutes to go, the controller of BBC One, Bill Cotton, came down onto the set. He said, "You've got to get on the air." And eventually, in the earpiece, we're on. Clear the set, everybody, clear the set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We were off.
You may find some details disturbing, but they'll only...
It was a bold idea to ask viewers to call in with information they might have about crimes police needed help with, giving them the chance to become armchair detectives and bring much-needed information to light.
And if you see anything tonight that jogs your memory, please call us. We hope to see immediate results. We suddenly thought, what if nobody rings?
I mean, it was about 20 minutes in, and I looked around. Thank God, there's a phone going.
With its mix of reconstructions, studio appeals, and items about investigative techniques, viewers were instantly hooked.
Meanwhile, don't have nightmares.
And we were off and running. In fact, the lines were jammed by the end of the programme, and they had to double the lines for the next month.
Soon, all police forces were coming to Crimewatch with their most serious cases, with police and leading detectives manning the phone lines, ready to take vital information from callers.
The Brighton bomb inquiry depends on eliminating everyone who's...
CCTV, e-fits and artist impressions were shown to jog viewers' memories, and with millions of people watching, officers realised they could speak directly to key witnesses. And the programme was yielding results.
And any identifications of the car that night?
Yes, several calls from people who have given us information.
An early success came in 1992, when police appealed for help to find the man who had murdered Julie Dart and kidnapped Stephanie Slater. Crimewatch called on the public to help piece a number of clues together. They were also able to broadcast the audio of the suspect's ransom demand to millions of listeners.
For the first time, you can now hear what he sounds like.
Have you got the money?
Who's this, please?
Never mind. Have you got the money?
Investigators in the studio were given a name.
Michael Sams is in jail tonight, starting 4 life sentences for murdering the Leeds teenager Julie Dart and kidnapping Stephanie Slater.
In 1995, TV presenter Jill Dando joined the programme, and over the next 4 years was a much-loved member of the team.
9 arrests since last month, all as a direct result of viewers' calls.
But in a terrible tragedy, she went from talking about crime to becoming a victim of the most awful one.
Good evening. A massive police hunt is underway tonight in West London for the killer of Jill Dando, who was murdered earlier today outside her terraced home in Fulham.
This is a sombre and, for me, a surreal Crimewatch UK. For all of us here, it can be gruelling coping with crimes against victims who are strangers. It's been almost unbearable dealing with Jill's death. I mean, shock isn't quite the word. I mean, and then the idea that she'd been murdered was almost incomprehensible. The whole team was in a state of trauma.
Her murder is still unsolved. The programme has proven time and again that its formula reaches people and communities who might otherwise not have come forward to the police. When 7-year-old Tony Ann Byfield was killed in a gangland shooting, police asked Crimewatch to broadcast an appeal.
You want more information about an incident that happened a bit earlier?
A 7-year-old girl being murdered in London in gang-related crime, being shot and executed, has got to be something that the community wants to come forward and deal with.
As a result of calls made to the programme, Joel Smith was jailed for life for murder. And the accurate reconstructions of even the most well-covered crimes generate new leads.
Over the years since Madeleine disappeared, has been the subject of intense media coverage.
And let's focus on 10 p.m. Let's focus on this sighting, and you tell me what's important and what people watching.
On the night of the television broadcast on Crimewatch, it was an unprecedented event for us. You know, the public watched the programme in their millions, and they called into the show in their thousands.
It can't have been easy.
After 40 years, these core values have remained the same, even as the presenter lineup has changed.
For 8 years, I was a police officer with one thing on my mind: to catch criminals and to force them to face justice. Today, there's been a few changes in my life. I was a detective in the CID working in Peckham in South London. And I remember walking into the office one day and someone seeing an advert for a new police presenter that was wanted. They were all laughing and pointing at me and saying, "This is totally up your street." So I thought, all right, I'll do it. I'm Rav Wilding, and this is Crimewatch Roadshow.
Hi, Rav. Well, it's going to be an action-packed morning. When I first joined, I was the reporter, so live every day in a different location, basically travelling the length and breadth of the UK. And I really got thrown in at the deep end, to be honest. I've worn every type of helmet. I've been in every type of kit. It was a real baptism of fire for me.
Thanks very much, guys. Sorry. I just need to catch my breath.
Even though we consume news in different ways, the programme still generates remarkable leads and new information. In October 2023, the Met Police needed help with a historical rape from 1984.
Well, a few hours after we ran that, we received this email from a viewer.
I too was raped a few months earlier, in June 1984, in the same park. I feel both our attacks could be by the same person.
So now we believe it was the same suspect and we're looking for a serial rapist.
And crucially, arrests.
We are thrilled to say there has been an arrest.
One suspect, as a result of information received on the day from Crimewatch viewers, has recently attended court and pleaded guilty to the offence.
He pleaded guilty and he received a 9-year sentence, so it was a fantastic result, which wouldn't have been possible without being on Crimewatch. So
really good to hear,
thanks a million to the viewers, really appreciate it.
One of your viewers, fortunately, rang up to say, "I know that person." Subsequently, we've arrested them and they're now with the Crown Prosecution Service waiting for a decision. We also managed to arrest the courier in a separate investigation, so it just goes to demonstrate how effective these appeals are. So we're really grateful to your viewers. Thank you.
And thanks to you, Britain is a safer place.